Hello and welcome to the Voice of TOD. I'm Tom, and in this video we're going to take a look at the freshly released Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 gameplay reveal. This is about 14 minutes of footage. I'm watching this from IGN. I will put a link to their video. At the point of recording, it hadn't been released anywhere else that I could quickly see. This is a game I'm really looking forward to. I played Space Marine 1 Christmas time, just before Christmas. Played it for the channel. The VOD is up there. I might even link it in at the end. We'll see if I remember. But it was a game that felt of its time. It didn't really impress me gameplay wise. Technically, it did what it needed to do. The thing that really impressed me with Space Marine 1 was just the ambience. The story was pretty good. It told this story of this lone, well, almost lone Space Marine going off on his adventure, trying to stop orcs, I think it was. And there's other twists and turns in there that I'm not going to go into. The combat really pissed me off. It didn't feel like a very fluid, interesting system to play. It really frustrated me at times. So I'd be interested to see from this gameplay if any of that is different, or if how they've tweaked things for the modern controllers. Because, you know, 2009 to 2023. There's a big time gap since Space Marine released. But the aesthetics and the world building, and even just walking around in this giant set of power armor, it felt big, strong, heavy, imposing. They really nailed that. And that's something that I've sort of taken from the trailers of Space Marine 2 that we've seen. I'm still getting that feeling that you are a power armored, genetically enhanced human. I liken it to Halo, right? Halo, the Spartan 2, so Master Chief, is variation of Spartan. They are big, genetically enhanced, they're wearing armor, but it all works to make them faster, stronger, better. It's not meant to slow them down. Whereas Space Marines in the Warhammer 40k world lore, they're in this big, heavy armor that, yes, they can move, they're fast, they're quicker, but it's meant to feel big and heavy and bulky. It's meant to have the bulk and the heft that a big suit of armor would have. The trailers seem to have again captured that, and how that sort of comes across in the gameplay is what I'm really interested to see. So without further ado, let's just jump in, let's have a look. As I say, it's about 14 minutes. I'm going to be talking over it, so if you want to watch it without me waffling on, link in description below. But I can't wait to see this. Last thing I will say, I think this game is going to be 2024 release. I don't know if we've had a release date yet. I don't know if anything follows this. I get the feeling that even though they've been saying it's going to be 2023, I think it's going to get pushed. And honestly, if they need to take a bit of extra time to get everything polished, or if they just want to avoid all of the big stuff in November, December, just push it. Take all the time that you need. Make it right. Make it an enjoyable experience. Warhammer is a massive IP now. And there is so much going into it. Over the next 10 years, you are going to be seeing, even someone who doesn't know what Warhammer is, you are going to be seeing Warhammer everywhere. This is probably the start of the big mainstream push. So they need this to land. And I have faith in Saber Interactive. They've worked on enough Halo games for me to have enough faith that they can deliver on something like this. But let's jump into it anyway and see what we've got. Oh, it looks pretty. Look how much is going on in the background. Just going to turn this up in my headset a little. There's just the constant chatter of the guns. The tank moving around. There's loads of things going on. I am going to turn this up.
We will assist in the defense.
Very good, my lord.
Are they Cadians? They look like Cadians. Yeah, they're Cadians. Cadian defense, it says in the top corner. Oh, it sounds amazing. Just the constant cacophony of auto fire and las fire. Look at the water textures and the mud. The chittering of the Tyranids as they drop in. Oh, parry system. Nice, that's what it needed. Yeah, it was dodge or take a hit in the first game. Executions are back. Didn't see if that gave him health. Oh, that bolter sounds good. Real meaty thump.
Intelligence reports multiple swarms closing in.
Direct us to them.
Sending coordinates to your Auspex display.
So this is a 3-player co-op game as well. You can play the story on your own, or you can play it with 2 other Space Marines, who I'm guessing are featured in this. Drop pods are here with weapons again, different pistols and things.
My lord, we are preparing an airstrike. Can you hold the enemy in place until it hits?
Consider it done.
Healing injectors. Oh, they're health packs. Okay, so have they changed how health... That was my frustration. You had to assassinate an enemy to get health back. I didn't like it. They've nailed the bolter. Is that a ping system that we're seeing there, highlighting an enemy?
Leave not one of them
Potentially.
standing.
It's a chaotic blur. There's so much going on off in this background here, in the top left. And then you've got enemies coming at you, you've got the different types, the melee guys and the shooty guys. I like that when he's taking hits. The shield effect, that's really cool. That's not a ping system, is it? That's like a timed parry or assassinate. Was that like an air assault grenade? Calling an airstrike on them? That's a cool assassination. I wonder if you can shoot the guys in the back. It's just continuous. I love that shield effect on the hood.
The 8th never miss.
The orbital guns are on the other side of the swamp.
Be alert. The Tyranids will be lying in wait.
The forests, like all of this extra niddy stuff that's coming out of the ground, like you can see here, the spikes and things. That's all like alien growths.
These abhorrent husks are
It looks incredible. The lighting looks incredible.
Indeed. Their ships, these pods, irrelevant. Their very existence is heresy.
Shut in their numbers today, brother.
The voice works good as well. I mean, as expected. They've got some really good actors doing the voices. Chainsawed. Nice. I wanted to see the health thing. So that combo it feels the same. There's an element of slow-mo when you do a couple of melee attacks, then you dodge and pull out the pistol. He didn't get health back. His health seems to be regenerating. I'm more watching the health bar than anything else. The 3 bars look like a... Is that shield? And the shield comes back when you parry? Or assassinate. So it looks like the shield maybe comes back when you assassinate. And the health slowly regenerates over time.
The spores detonate when threats draw near.
Well, I'd need to see more of that.
Take the advantage and destroy them.
Looks so good.
Reload.
Don't know what the spores are. I mean this in like the nicest possible way to compare it to something else.
Changing magazine.
The environments remind me a little bit of Gears 3. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. But there's that grim dark edge, but there's still that pop of colour.
Reloading weapon. Need to reload.
Looks like down the bottom there, that's just pinged in the centre of the bottom. That is, that's your special. Like it's a fury gauge. The HUD seems fairly minimal.
Reloading.
Are you going to pop your... That was a nice... So you can dodge, and then the dodge staggers them for you to execute. Those executions are so good.
The orbital guns.
Look at that. That's stunning.
Need to reload. Deploying frag grenade.
Frag grenades seem pretty powerful.
Reloading weapon.
Obviously the HUD, maybe not the effects, but the size of explosions and things. So there, he did his buff there. That looks like it buffs him. Maybe does something, damage reduction or something. This is all subject to change. Visually, I think that's locked in, but the HUD might get moved around. I like that the HUD disappears in cutscenes, or seems to disappear in cutscenes.
We can do no more. Open the gate. Yes, my lord. Open the gates. Another wave. We can't hold them.
So that bit of cloth on his back covers his ass.
Serve your emperor, soldier.
That seems to move quite well.
Do not let them surround you.
Doesn't obviously seem like it's clipping. That's mad.
Trying to get up here. Take them down.
So it has a heat gauge and an ammo gauge on the heavy bolter.
Everybody inside now.
Okay, so it hasn't gone well. Everybody fall back. Oh, this looks so good. There's so much going on.
We're not eliminate the remains of the swarm. Osman, they will all get these gates closed. We must focus on taking down the height. Do not relent in your attacks. We are wasting time. Proceed through the gates. Need to
Never seen orcs do that.
I had a feeling we'd get an advert in the middle of this. It is IGN after all.
You have yet to see the worst of them. Oh, I look forward to.
Nice little callback to the first game, fighting orcs. So this, you've got your grenades on B, which I don't love. Hopefully you can change all these controls. Looks like you've got your weapon change on the D-pad again, and then your special on Y. Health. No, weapon change is on down on the D-pad by the looks of it. And then you've got a health injector here, which is on
Changing magazine.
right D-pad. I hope that you can pop grenades on left bumper. Basically, I want every game to use the Halo control system, because that's the only control system I'm really good with. My brain is hardwired into that. What's dodge as well, actually? I like dodge on B, but that's all minor. Like, whatever their control system is how they've envisioned it and how it works for them. So,
Reloading weapon.
big old tank, the Lemon Russ. This, like, I praised Darktide about the atmosphere, and the music in Darktide was something else. But the overall atmosphere, the sound effects, the visuals in Darktide were incredible. We're going to do a video on Darktide as well, coming out in the next couple of days, because we've had a little update on that one. But Darktide nailed that close quarters, horde-based 40k style game, I think. Everything sounded great, everything looked great, everything felt great. This is doing the same thing, but on a much bigger scale. You're actually seeing the battlefield, you're seeing cities, you've got a skybox of things going on, you've got cannons firing off in the distance, you've got airstrikes coming in, it's the chaos of war. This is everything that Space Marine 2 should be. Oh, this looks amazing. I haven't seen anything in here that worries me about playing it. There's nothing that puts me off, and in fact it's just making my hype. Which is dangerous. but it's just getting me even more hyped for this. It's making me just... I want to feel it, I want to try it. That'll be the thing for me. I'll have to get my hands on it and actually play. Maybe they'll do a beta or something.
What is that? Take it down. While it lives, the other creatures are hard.
That's cool. So you've got other variation boss types. Look, mate, at this point, with 26 bullets left, I just get rid of the heavy bolter and start hitting them with your sword. There's so much going on. Visually, it's beautiful. I love the lighting as well. This is insane. They've
assist where possible, but do not.
They fully realised
the targeting system is our priority.
A Tyranid invasion. The animations are spot on.
Need to reload.
I'm just looking at how the enemy's actually moving. You see his shield's gone and his armor's flashing, got that blue static. That's a cool effect. Oh, I'm liking this.
We will see.
I'm liking everything I'm seeing.
Major, I see the mechanisms. Stand by.
Be alert. The Tyranids have taken notice of you.
Let them come. Keep them off me while I get this done.
There's just so much going on.
One down.
It reminds me of the Halo skyboxes, like the Halo 3 skyboxes. You're going along the highway, and you've got the Ark stuff going on, and the Covenant ships flying in, and you're just trying to get to the city at the start of Halo 3, or early in Halo 3. There's so much going on in that skybox. This is the same, obviously tuned up for modern performance standards. But visually, this is insane.
Done. Go for the next one.
That's cool. He just grabbed its tail and slammed it on the floor, and it exploded. I like that. I don't know if it's a parry or a perfectly timed dodge, but the dodge and shoot, that's such a cool mechanic. That was insane. I'll tell you what. Let's jump back to... Oh no, it was the forest was back here, wasn't it? What I want to see... Where was that big flash? What I want to see is how this all affects the health bar and the shield and how that's regenerating. So he's taken hits and his shield's gone, so the yellow flashes on the screen, the shield's gone, and then obviously you've got your blue static around the character, because third person game, you focus on the character. That indicates his shield's gone, and he's taking damage. So what stabilised his health there? So obviously taking the hits, his health's down. Doing damage is bringing health back, isn't it? And then he assassinated the enemy there, and his shield came back, but not his health. And then that's why you've got health injectors down here. Oh my god, they've completely changed the really frustrating health system. So far, from what I can see. That's really good. Oh, this game is shaping up to be amazing. And your rage power that used to, like, buff your damage or recharge your health when you did it, it seems to be like an instant damage buff for everybody around you, which is nice. I wonder if the other two Marines in co-op, I wonder if they have different powers that do different buffs and things, maybe. I don't know. We're only seeing it from I think it's Titus. We're only seeing it from his perspective. Oh, this is going to be chaos.
Changing magazine.
It's going to be so good in single player, and I think in co-op as well. There's just so much going on.
Reloading weapon.
Yeah, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed with the sound of the guns, just the constant cacophony, the alien noises, everything that's going on really impresses me. This looks insane. I cannot wait to see more. Cannot wait to get it in my grubby hands and play it. And it is something that hopefully we'll be streaming on the channel. We might even do a co-op run if we can get that figured out as well, because I know Mark has mentioned it. That he's looking forward to this one. So tentatively, we could be doing quite a few playthroughs of this. But this is looking mad. As somebody who is a recent convert to the whole Space Marine thing, and I didn't love the first game. I enjoyed what they were trying to do mostly. It was just the gameplay and the combat that really frustrated me. This looks to have ironed out a lot of those concerns that I had, which is really cool. And I can't wait to see more. As I mentioned in this video, there is some Dark Tide stuff. We're going to talk about that. I'll get that video done. Hopefully it'll be dropping today or tomorrow. Basically, they've announced Dark Tide for console. But I've not looked into specifics, so we'll see if there's an actual date. But that's cool as well. Loads of Warhammer game stuff coming out. Not all of it interesting to me. The stuff that I'm interested in, I will obviously cover. But this is looking insane. This game is just looking a chaotic shooter, third-person shooter. Very Gears of War style. Alright, it's 3-person co-op, not 4-person. Bit of a shame. But honestly, I haven't seen anything in here to detract away from my hype, which is dangerous. But it's looking so good. Looking so good. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.